Yo, I added a bunch of new stuff to my game. Better combat, a shopkeeper, a proper ultimate system, and a brand new ultimate to go with it. I set myself a bunch of goals to finish by the end of the month, and I almost broke my game doing so. The fighting felt fine. I had simple attacks and it worked, but nothing really hit, you know? It was missing that weight, that oomph. To fix this, I added a hit stun. Now when you land a hit, they actually flinch and freeze for a split second. Then I rewired my combo system and added 3 new kicks. A quick tap, a jumping variant, and a powerful axe kick. Fun little discovery, starting the axe kick from a jump in 2D felt way smoother than doing it from a standing position, which looked a bit silly. Before, it felt like my character was just throwing their arms around. Now it actually looks like they've been through a few street fights. The last devlog was all about the spirit bomb, which you guys should check out by the way. It worked and it looked really dope. But since I rushed through it, the code was low-key trash. So I ripped the whole thing out and rebuilt it into a proper ultimate system. Now, after unlocking your first ultimate, you'll get an ultimate bar on top of your player that fills up as you fight. When it's full, you'll be able to use your ultimate. I think my new approach is way more scalable and all around cleaner, so I'll be able to add more ultimates down the line. Now that we fixed up ultimates, I need a way to get them, and I thought it would be cool to add a shop. So I made my very first NPC. In the shop, you can buy your ultimates after an X amount of kills. And I'm thinking of branding the shopkeeper towards a wise old teacher that teaches you the ultimates, which would make more sense than having a merchant that sells you the ultimates. After a lot of planning and thought, I decided that I want 2 types of combat for this game, and for each combat type, I want to add an ultimate. So right now, I'm focused on just 2 ultimates for the initial launch of the game, but might scale up in the future. I already have the second combat type, including its ultimate, planned out, so stay tuned for the next devlog where I'll showcase them. But for hand-to-hand fighting, I wasn't sure what to do for an ultimate. Luckily, my comments had me covered. Huge shout out to Extreme Gaming, whose suggestion for shadow clones sounded so cool I knew I had to do it. To be honest, it was actually harder than I thought, and at some points I thought about giving up since the bugs I was dealing with felt unsquashable. And most days I have less than an hour to work on my game, so I have to get comfortable with micro progress, which is easier said than done. I knew I had to stop complaining though and lock in. It took a few days, but I finally got the logic working. When you fire it, a whole squad of clones spawns in around you, locks onto enemies, and just starts beating them up on your behalf, while you can look cool in the middle. Of course, I had to test how many clones I could spawn at once. Yeah, I'm gonna just put a cap on for 5. Now this is an ultimate attack, so I had to juice it up. That's much better. So here's everything put together. I walk up to the shopkeeper, buy the shadow clone jutsu, take down an enemy to charge my ult, and then jump straight into a pit full of mobs. And my clones absolutely clean house. Did this make my game better? I think so. Next up, I want to push this even further with an entirely new combat type and ultimate, like I mentioned earlier. So stick around for the next devlog. Drop a like and subscribe if you want. It would mean a lot to me. Thanks and see you all next time.